Right. We'll see how the scope of a variable work in the Python. Right now, we can have local scope and the global scope, or private variables and the public variables. Likewise, we can say um, if it is a local variable or a local scope, you can say, or private variable. If it is a private variable, right, that means if a variable created inside a function, right now, for an example, define, if you have variable called hello, say hello, that was the function we have been using all the time. Say hello. And then we have name equals Jane. Do, right, name equals Jane Doe, and then let's say we're gonna print um, hello from name. Right now, let's switch off spelling check. Right, now let's save this in the desktop call exercise.python, and we already have put into the desktop py.py. Now hello from Jane Doe. Right. Now, let's say I have another function called, say, hi. Right now, I'm going to use the variable name there. Hi from John Jendo. That's what I'm going to say. Say hello and say hi. Right now, if you try to do it now, it will give you an error saying the name variable uh, is not defined. The name error you will be getting. Why you are getting this? Because the variable name declared inside the function say hello, and once the function say hello is over, the variable name is no longer available because that is declared inside that function. Therefore, that is only available within the function itself. So we call it as a local scope or a private variable. Then we call it as a local scope of that function. The variable available within the local scope of the say hello function. Therefore, it can be used only within the say hello function. Right. Then that is about the local scope or a private variable. Right. Then let's say now I want to use this variable. I want to use this variable. Right now, I want to use this variable in high function as well. I want to use this variable in the high function as well. Right. So, how can you do that? Now, this is what you call as a local scope. No? Right now, I want to make it as a global variable. So, if I want to make it as a global variable, how can I do that? Right now, if I have declared the name function up here, right now, if I have declared the name function outside any functions, name variable, and even if I have used the name, print name, now you can see I have declared it outside. So now this is common for both say hello and say hi functions, because this is by default, it will be taken as a global variable. Therefore, it can be used anyone. Right now, this is a global variable. Therefore, variable created outside of a function is a global variable. Therefore, variable created outside of a function is a global variable. Right now, variable created inside of the function. Right now, let's say we have what? Name is into. Okay, x equals 10. Let's say I'm gonna use print the excel inside function inside inside the function from inside the function, and then I'm gonna print, let's say, x, and inside the function say hello. Right, so here I'm gonna print again inside the function say hi. Right, and here I'm gonna have x equals 999. So here we have x equals 111. Right. I'm gonna print the x outside the function. Outside any function. Right. Now let's see what will happen. Right now, what do you think? Here, inside the function say hello. Now you can say variable shadowing is used. What? Here I'm using, I have declared a global variable 999. So inside the say hello function, I have 111, a private variable declared of local scope. Now here when I say x, then that works for this 111, the private variable. That's why here it says function say hello 111. When you say hi function, there is no x declared here. So this x means to the global variable of x, global scope. Right now this outside x also refers to the global x. Right now this is how you use it. Right now, let's say you have not declared x. If you have not declared x here outside, right now, if you try to do it, you will be getting an error because here you can't identify, you can't find x. And here also you can't find x because x has a private scope. But if you want to declare the variable x inside a function, that means if you want to declare the variable inside as a local scope, but if we have to, if it has to be a global variable, then you could declare it as a global value. Global x equals 111. All right, global x equals 111. Now semicolons required. Now here inside this function you have declared this x, which is a global one. You have used the keyword global. So this x is set as a global variable. Therefore, outside the function also can access this variable x, which is what you call as a global scope. Therefore, remember, if you declare function in a variable inside a function without the global keyword, then it is a private scope or the local scope. So that can be accessed only within that function. Therefore, if you declare a variable outside any function, then that is by default, it is a global variable. Therefore, any other class could access it. Or else, if you want to declare a variable inside a function as a local scope or private scope, then if you declare it with a global keyword, then it will become a global variable. Right. Now, now what will happen? X equals 999, and then here, what will happen now? Try out whether what will happen now. Now what happens? Right now, X is set as 999, and then you say global X, which is equals to 111, and when you print the inside the function, then this we are referring to the global variable X, and then global variable X is 111 now. Therefore, everyone would refer to the global variable, because when you use the keyword global, that means you are referring to the variable which is declared the outside, then you are referring to this variable. So, right, if you want to change this value also into a, let's say, different value from a function, that is how you could do as well. Therefore, if you have, let's say, 0, and if you want to change the x value into some other value, let's say 111, this is how you change the global variable from a local function as well.
So, if it is any code written before that is you have mentioned global, I mean, defined global variable. Before that, if we execute some code, it will taken this first x value, right?
So let's say here, if you have x equals 10, and then that means if you print it here,
Yes.
right? Now this line will get interpreted first, right? So you can see it would be 10 now, because you are referring to this x. Now you are changing the global variable value of x, which is 10 previously, into 111. Now if you refer to this, now it would become, this would print 111. Now even if you print it here, it would be printing 111, because you have changed it. Now it would be 111. Right, now you can see here it would be printing 111. Why this one 10? What? Here you have, okay, the problem is this will be called here. Even though you have declared the function, you are calling the function from here. Therefore, here it would be printing x equals 10. This is the global variable 10 now. So it would be printing 10. Right now, this is a function which has not executed yet. And this is the function definition. So here again, you are printing the variable x. So now, this is again, you are referring to this value. Now, you are calling, you have done again function definition. Then you call the say hello. Once you call the say hello, from the say hello function, you are changing the value of the variable global variable x into 111. So this would print inside the function. Right now, if you put this not here, if you put this after this, then it would be print. It must be printing 111, obviously. See, is that clear?
Yes.
Right. Okay. What would be the output of this one? This is the local variable, no? Right. Then what would be the output? You will get an error. Sorry? You will get an error. Right, okay. Now the first one you are saying is it will give you an error. No, print X at the last. Last. Now this one would give you an error. Yes. Right, okay. Why is that? Because X is private for the my function. Yes, a variable X declared inside the my function. Therefore, that is the local scope. Therefore, that would only be available uh, inside there. Right. So, yes, it would not work out right now. Let me have another question. Right. Then here you need to write. Right now, this is how the first one. Yes. Right now, the first one. This line would give you an error because this is a private scope. So if you try to do this, let me cut this and put it here. And if you try to run this, you'll be getting an error. X is not defined. Right now here, you'll not be able to use it. Right, therefore, that is correct. Right, the second one, what do you think the second one? The second one? Same thing, is it?
Same.
The same thing, no? Yes. Let me change it. Right now, let's say question. Right now, what will happen now? Will this work? What do you think?
Both will get 10.
Both will work. Right now, let's say we'll have it here. Yes, the variable x is declared as a global variable. So here the print variable would display 10. And when you call the show method, and here print x also would display 10. Therefore, 10, 10 it would be displaying. Right, correct. That is also done. Third one. Right now, here you may have some errors here. Now, what I want to do is I want to increase the counter variable value. I want to change the counter variable one value, counter variable value. Here right now, whatever you want to do is each time when you call this update counter, I need to increase it by one. So how can I correct it? Right now, if I try to do it, what will happen? Right now, let's say this is what I have. Right now, when I do it, I am getting an error saying what? Unbound local error cannot access local variable counter where it is not associated with the value. Right, therefore we are getting an error. Now what I want to do is, right now there is a global variable called counter and I have function called update counter. So using the update counter, I want to, using the method update counter, I want to increase the counter variable one, the global variable value by one every time I run this. Therefore, if I run 10 times, the counter value should be 10. Right, now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10. Right, likewise, I'm going to run it 10 times now. So how can I make it correct? Where I need to do the changes? What is the change? What do you think? How can I correct it? What is the error now? Probably because now problem is what? Now we are getting unbound local error. Now unbound local error we are getting because why? This
If
counter
we
variable is a global variable. So
uh,
inside the update counter,
you
you
want to
are
put
trying
global
to what?
inside the function, if you put global this counter variable as a global variable, it can
Uh-huh.
give what we expected output.
So how can you correct it?
Inside the function, we want to make this counter variable as a global variable. Define.
Yes, inside the function, you need to make it as a global count. We have to refer this into the global count. Right now, this time when you have called for the 10th time, the counter with global counter variable value would be 10. Now, if you print the count outside as well, here this would be the 10 now. Is that clear for everyone? Because we ended up by getting this unbound local error because without this line, this will the Python interpreter will give us an error saying unbound local error because there's a global variable called counter and inside the function you have counter plus c equals 1. That means count equals counter plus 1. So Python will treat it as a local variable. Therefore, which is not defined inside the function. So um, it would say local variable counter is not associated with the value. Therefore, here it says there is a variable called counter, but it has not been assigned, initialized. You have not, there is a variable you have declared inside the function, but you have not assigned a value. So that's why here it will give you unbound local. Right now, in order to correct it, you need to refer the global variable. So we refer here, we say this is a global by saying global count. Right. That is also done. What would be the answer here? The fourth one. Output of this. Fourth one. What is the answer? Tell me quickly. 150. Right now, yes. Now, in this case, when you say inside the function, when you call the test function, you will see inside function, then that will print 100. And then when you say outside function, that means you are referring to the global variable. So it would print 50. Right now, it would say inside function 100, outside function 50. Right. Okay, the same thing we have done. Right. Same thing, but right, have your code here. Right now, you need to write the coding that how many times the function, the call counter has invoked. How many times this function call counter has invoked. Try out this quickly and send me the answers. For the same thing we just did minute ago. Quickly do it. Right, there may be a scenario now function declared inside a function. Right. Um, let's say define. We have one, define one, and there we have x equals 100. Right now we're gonna display one x. We're gonna display one x, which is x, and then we have another function define 2. Right now, here also, let's say we'll print 2x, 2x, and then I'm gonna call 2. I'm gonna call 1. Right now, what will happen now? You can see when you say 1x equals 100, and here 2x also would be 100. Right now, there may be a scenario x equals 500 here. Right now, here this is a global variable, x equals global variable 500. So here it refers to the local variable 100. Right. Here, if you make it as a global variable now, global x and equals to 100, what will happen? Right now, you can see here you are referring to when you call 1, you are referring to the global variable x and you reset the value to 100. Then when you print, x become 100, and then here you call the function 2. When you call the function 2, this also will become 100 because you are referring to the global variable. When you don't have a global variable here, right now, the function, second function or the inner function also refer to the variable x. Therefore, local variables can be accessed inner functions as well. Right now, local variables can be accessed by the inner functions as well. Right. So, right now, if you want to say this is not this, okay, right now, again, x equals 200. Now you can see here, it refers to x equals right now. Here also, I'm going to print the 1x again. Again, 1x. Right now, when you try to refer again 1x, right now, it is string literal. No, that's the problem there. Right now, you can see here. Now I'm referring to the here the local variable 100. So here we have the defined another function. Then inside the function, you have say x equals 200. Now inside this, it says 2x is 200, and outside this, inside the function 1, outside the function 2, and I print again one x variable, it says 100. Right now, if you want to work with, to say, it is non-local key. That means if you want to say inside the nested variable functions, right now, if you want, you can make it as right now. If you don't want to make it as a local variable for the nested function, then you can make it as a non-local variable. Right now, non-local x. Right now, if you prefer one non-local x, right now, you can see here, initially x equals 100. So that is inside the function 1. Then it prints 1x 100. Then you have the function 2. When you call the function 2, you refer non-local, then the Python will treat this non-local keyword will treat it. This variable x is not referred to the local variable of the nested function. Now this non-local keyword makes the variable belongs to the outer function, not to the inner function. Now the non-local keyword will make sure. Now you are referring to non-local x means you are referring to the outer function variable x. Then outer function variable x value changes to 200. So here it says 2x equals 200. And then when you print again, now we are referring to this variable x. Now the value has been set inside the function 2, which is to 200. So again 1x would gives you 200. So that's how the non-local keywords are working. Non-local keywords are working. Right. Right. So what would be the output here? What would be the output here? And then what would be the output of, let's say, let's separate this. This is non-local y. Non-local y. Right. What are the outputs of these to quickly try out and try to understand and tell? Right now, okay, as I said, first of all, you need to use the SQL connector. Right now, if you have not installed the SQL connector, you need to install the SQL connector. So let me copy from the chat what I have sent to you. Right, then you need to make sure if it is not installed using this command, you will be able to install the SQL connector. Right, first of all, make sure you install the SQL connector if it is not installed. Right, thereafter, by just having only this line, you can just try to save your file and run it. And if it success without any errors, so it means it's okay. SQL connector is working, installed properly. Right. Now let's see how can we create the connection. Right now using the SQL connector, right now we have installed, so we are using it. Now we're going to create a connection. Right, in order to create a connection, I'm going to create a variable here, connection or whatever the name you can have. And you can use MySQL connector.connect. MySQL connector.connect. This is the connect function in MySQL connector. Need to pass the host, which is I'm using a local host because I'm locally running on web server. And then username I have test in my service, and the password I have set it as 123. Right, let's say now I don't have a database at all. Right now, this is to create a connection to the service. That means create a connection to the service. Right now, database service. Right now, we have to have. Right now we have these, and then we can see how can we create a database. Right now I want to create a database, and thereafter I'm going to continue. Right now, let's say I'm going to create one course student. Right now I need to create a database course student, let's say. So right now we need to use the cursor function. Now, as I explained earlier, cursor function is a reference, right? Cursor is a reference, you can say, in order to execute the SQL queries, right? Right, then because we need to have a cursor object, because cursor in SQL database object allows to row by row processing of query into query results. And then when Python, when you're using with MySQL and Python, you create a cursor object to execute the SQL queries and retrieve the data from the database. Simply in Python, when you're using MySQL or right now MySQL Python, you use the cursor object to execute SQL queries and retrieve the results from the database. Right now, in order to create a cursor object, right now, you can have any name. Right now, I'm going to have it as x equals connection object dot cursor, connection object dot cursor, connection object dot cursor. Right now, that is how you create a cursor object and assign it to the variable x. Now we have created a cursor object and assigned to the variable x. Now x refer to the cursor object. Right. So now we need to create a database, right? Now we need to create a database, right? Now, if you don't know how to create a database, search on the Google SQL query to create a database. Right now, let's say we need to create a database. So I can use my cursor object, which is x dot execute. Right now, I want to create a cursor object database. Right now, create a database. So the SQL query is create database, create database, and database name. Right. Let's say I'm going to name it as studb, studb, studb. Create database database. Right now, let's see beforehand. You can see here, these are the databases available in my, here the database is available. There's nothing called studb, right? So I'm going to save this and then I'm going to run this. Right now, once I run this without any error, it got worked. So if you just refresh this, right now, you will see there's a new database created called STUDB. STUDB means the newly created database, but no tables, nothing, right? Just the database we have created. So this is how you create a database. Right now, already created the database, so I'm going to put it here for your reference. Right now, this is how you create a database. Create a database, right? Then what we need to do is we need to create a table. Right now, if you try to create a database, right? If you try to create a database and then if it is available, right? If the database is available and if you try to create again, what will happen right now? Let's try it out. Now the database is already created, and if you try to do it again, right now you're getting an error saying can't create database studb because database exists. Right now, if you want to figure it out right now, let's say um, what are the databases available first of all right now. If you want to see what are the databases available first of all, and in that case, you can say beforehand my x.execute show databases. Right. MySQL cursor show databases. Right now, right. Start execute. Right now, how can you check the extra execute show databases and then it would list down the databases, no? Right now. We can't print it like this. We'll have it like for I in X, for I in X, print I. This also will not display the objects. You can see the names. So, right, okay. Right now, this is how you can see, because right now only the name has been retrieved. Now you can see the student database is there already. Right now, before creating a database, if you want to refer what are the databases available, you could use this. Show databases, show databases. Right now, this is how you create a database, and this is how you show database. Right now, let's say we have already created the database, and then we have already know how to show the databases as well. Right now, if you want to connect to the database right now, if you want to connect to the database now, we can pass the database as well. So, comma database. The database we have created is studb. Right now, we are creating the connection to the studb. Right now, we are passing studb. Right now, studb. Right, studb not defined. Name error. Right now, we have this. What is the name I have used? Create this. What's the problem? Double quotes. Right. Even this would work on single letters. STUD. Yes, correct. So this is how you connect to the database. Right now, we know how to create a database and how to connect to the database. Right now, if you want to create a table, let's say student table, I'm going to create a table called student. Then you can say cursor object dot execute. Right now, we need to create a table. Right now, how can we create a table? Right now, you can search for create table. create table SQL. Right now, you can search for create table SQL. Right now, this is how you can create a table in SQL. You need to type the create table, table name, and the columns. Right now, this is how you just create a customer table and so on. Right then, we'll have this code copied in for a while, and then we'll see how to create a table called custom. Right then, what you need to have create table. I'm going to use create table student. I'm going to name it as student and round brackets. Then you need to have the values and student ID, SID, and let's say integer and primary key. And what is the primary key and everything? I just want you to figure it out. In a table, primary key means the index value. That means you use the primary key to refer the rest of the records in that particular row. Right now, we have student ID and the name. Name will be, let's say, the text type. Therefore, I'm going to set it as varchar, variable character. And inside the brackets, you need to type how many letters you want to have. Let's say create table student, SID in primary key, name 10 or 20, ID name, and let's say age we have right now integer age. So age int. Right now this is what I'm gonna have. So I have a table called right in for you to easily refer this. I can list down in this format. Create table student, student ID, which is the primary key, and we have the name, which is varchar, and which is then we have the age integer. Right now, this is how you can create a table. Right now, this is what I have typed here: create table student, student ID integer, which is a primary key, and then name varchar. Likewise, I have set varchar 20 and age integer. Right now, let's run it and see whether we can create the table. Right now, we are creating the table inside the student DB database because we have set the student DB. Right now, you can see it got compiled correctly. So we have to go through the, let's say, the student DB. Right now, where we have this local host reloaded. Not the book DB, STUDB is the database we created. There's a table called student. The student table, we have the values SID name age, SID name age. So we have just declared, created a table called student. Right now, even if you want to see, right now, if you try to run it again, so if you try to run it again, that means the table student is already available. So if you try to run it again, now you will get an error. The table student already exists. The table student already exists. Right now, if you want to see what are the tables available now let's say now this is how you create a table. So I'm gonna put it into for your reference. Create a table. Create a table. Right now, this is how you create a table. Right now, if you want to show the if you want to show the tables, if you want to see the tables, you can say show tables. Show tables by next print tag. Right now, we can show the tables, right? So at the time being, we have only one table, so it is the student table. Right now, this is how you can see the tables. Right now, show tables. If you want to show the tables or the view the tables, that can be done by Show tables method right now. This is line number 2. Show tables. Tables. Right. Show tables would create this. Right now, try out this as well quickly. Right. So now enough time. Now we know how to create the tables and how to retrieve the values as well. Then we have set the primary key also here for the student table ID as the primary key. Therefore, that cannot be duplicated. Therefore, that would be a unique value for the student table. Therefore, it cannot be a duplicate value. Therefore, it would be a it is a what you call a unique value. Then you can refer the student ID to refer the student records. Now, right, if you want to add another column, right? Let's say another column if you want to add. Let's say you forgot to add a column address right now. You forgot to add the column address. Then, if you want to add a column, right? What is the query we can use if it is already existing table now? If you want to add another column, how can you do it? Anyone? What is the command? I wanted to create, add another column call address or the city. I want to call another column called city I want to add. So what can I do it? If it is already created, already existing objects, then which commands I should use? Anyone?
Add
Alter, yes, alter.
or
Alter commands I have to use. Then what is the what I have to do now? First of all, I need to alter the table. So alter table. What table I need to alter? I need to alter the table student. Alter table student. What I need to do? I need to add a column. Add a new column. Add column. What? I need to add a column address. Or no, I need to add a column city. Easy, no? I need to add a column city. I need to add a column city. The data type is varchar, and let's say type size is 15. Right. Now I need to add a column called alter. No, alter. Right. Alter table student add column city. Right now let's run it and see. It could compile. Now if you refer previously we had select all from student. We had only a student ID name age right now. If you refresh this and then if you check the student table now, you will see it has student ID name age city. Right now we have this. Right now this is how you add another column as well. Right now it's matter of adding the values now. Right now we know how to alter the table as well. Right now Google search on alter table commands so you can see what are the things you could do with it. Right, then I need to insert the values into my table. Right now, I need to insert the values into my table. Right now, how can I insert a value to a table now? Now we have created the table. Right now, I need to insert a table. Right now, quickly search and tell me what is the query to insert a value. Right, so um, if you want to insert right now this is a create table we have already done all the table if you want to refer you can click on this all the tables right what we did was we have added a column right if you want to drop a column you can say drop if you want to modify you can say the modify all right if you want to modify the column data type you could use modify right if you can refer this right if it is the add is to add new column drop is to remove an existing column modify is to change the data type of a column right this is what you use all the table name add column name with the data type if you want to modify all the table name then all the table student modify city into a whatever the modify column city and then the data type. Then if you want to drop the city, then all the table student drop column city. And if you want to rename a column, then all the table name, rename column, all name to new name. Right now, likewise, you can rename a column. Right now, if you want, you can rename the table as well. Likewise, you could do it. Right now, we need to learn about how to do the insert. Insert. Right now we discuss about drop table. Right now the CRUD operations we're gonna talk about. Insert a value. So insert into. Right, insert into. Right now we can use the insert into command. Insert into table name with the values. Right now, if you want, you can pass in the parameters. That means you can pass in the column names. If you are passing values only for selected columns, then you have to use this. Right now, you can specify the columns which you are passing the values. If you are passing values for all the columns, then you could use this. Right now, I will use this method. Right now, let's say insert into table name. Then I'm gonna say this is the what all the table commands. Right. Right. Add another add new column to the table. Right now, and then the sixth one I'm gonna do insert records. Right. Extort execute. I need to say insert into student. Insert into student values. Insert into student values. I need to pass the student values right now. Here we can refer insert into table name student values, and then we need to pass the values. Right now, what are the values we need to pass? Insert into student values. We had student ID, name, and the student ID, name, age, city. Student ID, name, age, city. Therefore, student ID was integer. I have used 101 and comma, and the name, let's say Jane Doe. Jane Doe, student ID, name, age 20, and then city, let's say CMB, right. And now we have extort execute. Right now, let's see how can we insert this. Right now, when you try to do that, it says you forgot a comma. Right now, how is that possible? Right now, extort execute, yes, the bracket. Insert into student values. Right now here we have to pass insert into student values. Right now, how can we pass this? Right now, this is the command we have, insert into. Right now, how can we pass this? Like we can't just pass like this. Therefore, this won't work, right? Now, when I try to do it, what happens? It says invalid syntax. Perhaps you forgot a comma. Right. So, if you want to pass the values right now, you want to pass the values. Right now, how can you do that? Right now, we can say, how? What do you think? Anyone? Any idea? How can we insert into this one? How can we? Right now, this is the table we have. How can we insert the values into table? Right now, what do you think? Right now, we need to insert a record. Now, how can we do that? Right now, if you want to pass these values, insert into student values. Right now, we need to pass the what are the student values we are passing for you to easily remember. We need to pass student ID, and we need to pass the name, and we need to pass the age, and then we need to pass the city. Right. These values we need to pass like now. Wow. Right now, okay. The problem is here. Right now, I'll do this. Okay. Here Jane Doe, and then this one also we need to use single quotes, and then this might work. Unknown column ID and field list size siding. Yes, it got updated right now. You can see here. If you click on the student right now, these values would be available right now. Let's see. Okay, why is this? Table student does not exist. Mhm. Right now, return an empty result set. Right now, that means it has not been executed, is it? Saved. Yes, right now this is not inserting, it seems. Otherwise, you should get an error, no? Mhm. Yeah, pausing values, correct. Right now, okay, why is that? Yes. Right now, let's see the, we'll commit this as well. We'll commit, I forgot it first, connection.commit. Right now, if I try to add, I should get an error because now only the val record got entered. Right now, here you can see when you open the table, the values are there. When you open the student table, the value should be there. Right. 101 Jane Doe, because I have not committed. Right now, that's a mistake we have done. Right now, this is how we have passed the values. So let me have some values right now. All right, you can't have the same ID. So I'm gonna just do this would be enough, right? 102, 103, likewise, I'm gonna have 102 Will Smith and Oana 15, 22, 22, right now, this one from there you go. Say, New York, and then right. Right now, let's update the values. Right now, you can see this is how we have updated the records. Right now, this is the way of updating the records. Insert a record, and then afterwards, you have to have the commit. Right. Then, if you want to add a record now like this, you can add a record right now without passing the values as variables. Right now, if you want only, let's say you are not passing the city, then you can have without passing the city. Right now, we can pass this without the city. Right now, the same user ID cannot be used. Now we have entered 102, 104 would be okay. Right now, you can see I have entered a one without the city. Right now, let's say I'm going to pass another one without age. Age right now 104. I'm going to make it as Brian Thomas, and without the age, I'm going to have it as LA, right? Now we have added the 104 already and 105. Right. Now this is how we can use this. When you use these variables, this is how we can use it, because we can pass this without only for the required columns. Right now, let's see the values we have entered, how it would display. Right. Now when you open the student table, now you can see for the 104 without the city and for the 105 without the age we have added. Right now that is how we have added the values. So let me copy this one as well. Right now I have added some records. Okay, this is one way of doing it now. Right now I don't need this. Right, not all the values are required here. The variations only we can have. SID name, city. Right now, without the city, let's say we have the age. Then 106. Lee Adams. Right now, we need to pass on the age. Right. Okay, this is how we can pass this. Right. Now, and also, if you want after this, we need to have the cursor object dot commit, right? Cursor object dot commit in order to update it. Right now, remember that as well. Right. Then, if you want to read the values as well, right now, we can here after this commit, we could read the values as well. Right now, in order to fetch the values, then we can say x dot execute. Right now, I have already inserted the values, so I don't need this. X dot execute. I need to select all the records. Select all means the asterisk. Select all from student. Select all from the table name. Would retrieve all the values from the table. And then I can use a for loop for I values. Okay, for rows in what for row in simple thing for I in next. For I in next, then print I. Right. Likewise, I can print it. Now the commit is not required here. Right. Now I would be able to retrieve the values. Right now, see, this is how I can retrieve the value. So as a habit, always close this cursor object as well as the connection object. Now remember, previously we forgot to use the commit button. Without the commit, it won't get updated, right? See, therefore make sure you update. Right now, this is how you retrieve the value as well. Then retrieve the values. 7 retrieve the values. Retrieve. Close the connection cursor. Right now we have learned how to close the connection objects as well. Right now, if you want to pass the values as parameters, now for an example, like if you want to pass the values as a parameter, now you need to write the query somewhere, and then for an example, now this is before this. Let's say I want to have a query and the parameters q equals the query qry. Let's say query equals. You need to write a separate query. Then you need to write insert into what student, insert into student, and the values like name, age, city, insert into student SID name, age, city, values right now, then you're not going to pass the parameters. You're going to define the placeholders right now. uh, what will happen with the placeholders thing? Let's see right now. When you use these placeholders if you want to right now we have to pass the values. The student ID, name, age, city values. Right now, we're gonna have the placeholders like modulus s for the value types. Modulus s, comma 1, 2, 3, 4. Modulus s, comma 6. Modulus s. Right, 4 parameters we are passing and insert into this, and then values. Values is equals to let's say ID, which is 105. Name Dave Breeze, and the age 25, and the city right now goes right. Likewise, you'll see, and then we can have x dot execute what you need to execute the query and the values, and x dot commit. X dot commit we have 108. Let's say I'm not sure about the values. Right now, let's see how this is gonna work out. Right. Okay, run it and see whether you are getting any errors, and if you are getting any errors, how to do this. Right now, here when you're passing this right now, when you're passing the query, right now, this is inserting to students. So you have the variables, and then you have the values, and then you have defined the placeholders, right? Now, what are the placeholders? Right now, this is it's easier for you to separate it. Right, I have used the modulus s, that is for the value types. Right, then for the values, I'm gonna using 108, degrees 25, goal. Right. Right now, when I run this, what will happen? What would be the error? Is there an error? What is the error? Right, then the problem is here we have to have an equal sign. No, we have not put the equal sign. Right, you have to put the equal sign, and then what does it say? Commit. Right, now what is the problem here? Object has no attribute called commit. Is there any mistake? It says there is no such a
it should be
sorry? It should
commit,
be
right? It's con dot commit.
like this. Again, there's error. The commit, what happens? Commit.
No, we have to replace x instead of x con, right?
We have to.
Instead of x, uh, put con.
We have to cursor dot commit. We have to do, isn't it? Now previously how we did it. This is how we did it. What is the problem now? Yeah, what is the problem? It says attribute error. Object has no attribute commit. Without this, right now, what's going to happen? Then commit is not defined right now. What's wrong here, right? What do you think? Now here we have the cursor object here, and we have created a query, and here we have the values, a tuple, and then we are passing this tuple here. Then what do you think? Yes, not the but right, quickly tell me. Now from what we gonna commit? Is it x dot commit?
It should be
Connection dot commit. Because remember that it has to be right now the commit is not for the cursor object, that is for the connection. Therefore here we have made a mistake there. It has to be a connection dot commit. Right now remember that this has to be the connection object. That's why here we got end up by having this error. Therefore remember that right now. Okay, we have inserted a value like this as well now. Right now we can pass the values with the placeholders and so now these are the values we have added, right? So again I will copy this thing into the other page for you to have an idea how can you add the value, right? Okay, and right, so now this is how you add the values right now. Then we can have the select queries. No, we are having the select queries right now here. Now I don't need this anymore. If you want, you can quickly try out. Now the select query, I want to change it now. Let's say I want to see the records those who are above 22 years old, 20 years old, or 22 years old right now. How can I do that right now? I need to retrieve the values where the I need to have where clause. I need to find out select query. Let's say SQL select query. Right, select query. Right. Oh, not select database. That should be select query. Select statement where clause. Right now, I want to select where the age is above some 22 values. Therefore, if it is above greater than, see, I can do it like this. Then, if you wish to retrieve all the records, then select all from student where age variable value is where age is greater than 20. Greater than 20. Now, I no longer require this. I'm gonna say where age is greater than 20. Now what's gonna happen? Only the age is which is greater than 20. Right now, whether it will it work greater than or equal as well. Right, greater than or equals. For 20, then including 20 as well. Right now, you can see, then you can refer to this. Right now, if you want to find out between, or if you want to find out the where the city, those who are living in the city, like for an example, let's say we have two people living in CMB right now. Right now, there are two people living in CMB. Right now, let's say three people. I'm going to edit this one as well. We'll edit first. Okay, we'll see how to edit as well. Then it's easier, right? Now, before retrieve from the table, now there are students, those whose ID is 108. It says goal. Right now, if you run this, now two records would be CMB. Right now, the one who is from the goal, I want to change the address by, I want to change the address to CMB, whose ID is 108. Whose ID is 108, I need to change. Right then, what is the query I should use? Right now, I want to use what? I have to use update, right? Update queries where we have update. Yes, we have update. So we will use this update table name. Right now, update. We're gonna use it. We're gonna have after selecting this, before do this, we need to have the update query. Right now, let's see the update query. Right now, beforehand, we're gonna say x dot execute x.execute. I want to update the table student, update uh, table name student, set city as PMB, set city equals CMB, where ID SID is equals to, where SID is equals to 108. That is for Dave, right? 108. And thereafter we need to commit the changes. Right now we need to commit the changes. So connection dot commit, commit, commit. Right now, now you can see 108 record also updated to a CMB. Right now, this is how you update a record. Right now, if you want to now retrieve where the name, right now, let's say here 8, update a record. Right now, right, update a record. Right now, thereafter you can figure it out the rest. Right now, if you want to figure it out, now the name, the city equals to CMB. City equals to CMB. Right now, whether with a string, are we using right now equals to CMB, something like that. Age is 22, we use. Right now, uh, city equals, likewise, are we using what the city starting from, something like that. If you want, right, what are the operators available? Then you have to prefer it. How can you use this where column when you have to refer right now where close. Right now, we can have the operators, operator for the filtering. Right now, equal sign you can have, greater than, we can have in between values, you can have between, and then like operator. Right now, if you are looking for a pattern, like, then you can use the like operator. For an example, if the value is starting from S, if the let's say the city is starting from Z, I want to figure it out starting from Z. Right then, what I'm gonna do, first of all, I'm gonna right now update query is done. We have copied this as well, right? So we will remove it. um, Now I want to select all from students city where city equals, let's say I'm going to say city equals CMB. City equals CMB. What will happen? City equals CMB. I'm using equal sign. Then exactly if it is the same, that would return. Right now, let's say I want to say city like CMB. If I'm going to city like CMB, right now it gives you. But if you're starting from C only, if it's starting from C, I want to get starting from C, then it won't. Now, therefore, remember we need to have the placeholder, right? Percentage sign. Therefore, whatever doesn't matter. If it's starting from C, it would return all the values. Right now, if it is starting from, if you say percentage C, right now, if you say percentage C, then it doesn't matter what you have. If it is anywhere C, it would return. Right now, if it is anywhere C, we need to have like this. Okay. Right now, if it is anywhere C, it would return. Therefore, if it ending with C, it would gives you this. There's no such place ending with C, right? If it is ending with A, we have CA, right? Therefore, LA, CA. Likewise, you can see this is the like operator. Right now, you could retrieve the values based on this. Right now, this is how you manipulate the values using the where clause. How you get the values as the way you want. Right. The next one is to figure it out. Right now, we can say delete a value. If you want to delete a value, let's say whose name or whose ID is 25. Right now, you can have the delete query. Right now, how can you use the delete query? Again, you can search back the delete query, delete statement. By delete, then delete from table where the condition is. Therefore, right, for an example here, if you want where the name is equals to this. Oh, right, there. Likewise, if you want, you can have multiple conditions as well. Right now, if you want, you can delete all the records. Delete all from. Delete asterisk. Delete all. Delete all. Likewise, you can have. Right now, we'll see. We can have delete who is from CA? Who is from CA? Right now, that means we need to delete 103 record. Right now, we're gonna have what? Right now, we're gonna have delete record. So x dot execute. Right now, x dot execute delete from delete from the student table where city, let's say, equals to, if you want where city equals to, if it is from CA. If it is from CA, I want to delete the record. And then we need to commit it now. Then connection dot commit. Connection dot commit. Make sure you commit the connection as object. All right, now, oh, what does it say? Invalid syntax. Delete from the student table where city equals. Okay, I have put a dot, no dot. I have put a dot. Right now, this has been deleted. Right now, which records has been deleted? Right now, I am here. I am selecting not all the values. So I am filtering from where conditioner. So therefore, let's remove this as well. First, we'll have this select. Right now, first we'll have select all from student. Select all from student. Right, select all from student, and this second scenario, and the 10th one, delete a record. Right now, what we want to do, we wanted to delete a record where the city equals LA. Right now, we have already deleted it now, so there's no such place called ZA. Right now, obviously, we will get an error second time when you're running this, but we'll see. Right now, select all from student only we have. Right now, if I try to delete now here, you can see CA is not there. Right now, CA and LA. Let's say now LA is there. No? Therefore, I'm going to set equals LA. Right now, here that also removed, that also deleted. Right now, that is how you delete the records. Right now, that is how you can delete the records. And that is how you can do it. Therefore, now we have discussed about deleting a record as well. Right now, we have discussed about deleting a record. Initially, we discussed creating a database, displaying the databases, creating a table, displaying tables, add a new column to the existing table, inserting records, and then retrieve the values from the table and update a record. Right now, if you want to update a record, and thereafter how to select the records, then how to delete a record, we discuss, and then how to close the cursor and the connection objects. Right now, if you don't want this table anymore, let's say I want to delete this all, therefore delete all from the student. Right now, I can use delete all from student. Right now, delete all from student. Let's say delete all from student where city is equal to CMB. Right now, what will happen now? Delete all from student where city is equal to CMB. Right now, will this work? Right now, you can see what does it say when you use asterisk, and then that means all, right? Now, without asterisk, what will happen? Delete from student where city equals CMB. There are multiple cities, multiple students is from CMB. Now, what will happen now? Right now, you can see all the records, all the student records who are from CMB will be removed here. Right now, if you say delete all from the delete all from the student, delete all from the students. Now, no need of conditions now. Delete all from student. Right now, every student data would get deleted. Right now, what did it say? Error programming. Check the manual crossword version of the right syntax used near. All from student. Delete all from student. I just saw this in here. MySQL may not support that, no? Delete, 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 delete. MySQL delete all may not work. Delete from the entire data from the table. Delete from student. Delete from student. It says delete from student. Let's see. Delete from student. Yes, now nothing. Everything has been recorded. Right now, this is how you remove the values. Therefore, delete all the records. It's done by this. And then if you want to delete the table, even if you want to delete the table, right? Once you create the table, now it's there. Now, if you want to delete the table, then it's a matter of using the drop table and drop table. See here, right now you can learn from here as well. If you want to delete the table itself, what we have created now, we could use the drop table. Right now, we can use the command drop table, table name, and drop database. Right now, if the table is available, if you wanna delete drop table, that means here drop table if exists AB. Right now, if it is available, it would remove. Right now, let's try this one. Right, drop table. Right now we are done with this, and then if you want to drop a table, right now drop a table, drop table if exist student, drop table if exist student. sorry, my bad. Extra text, drop table, student, drop table, student, drop table if exists. We'll try this one if it is available right now. Good. Drop table if right now it says let's say now even if you run this again and again, it won't give you an error because we are using if exist. Right now we are using if exist. Now without this also we'll try 12 drop table if exist. Exist. EXIS, EXISTS, no EXISTS exist. If exist, this is how you do it. Otherwise, if it is drop the table, you just say drop table student. Right now, if you use the drop table student, it would give you an error if the table is not available. Right now, let's see. Drop table student. Right now, there's no such table for student. Now we will be getting an error. If you try to remove now in the database, STUDB, there is no such table for student now. Uh-oh, student. Right, there is nothing, no table student. Therefore, there is no table student. Student table does not exist right now. It says student table does not exist, right? Because table has been removed. And even if you want to delete the, if you want to delete the database also, that is also possible. How can you do that? Right, if you can't remember, don't worry, just use the queries. Right, then if you want to delete this one, drop database, then you can select drop database and then, right, you can use the drop database name. Right, drop database name. So to end this part, we could, in order to drop the database itself, then you can say drop database, studb, right, studb. Right now we can drop the database even. Right now that is how we can create. Now the no longer database is there. Now this is how we can drop a database as well. Right now 14 drop database. Right, and then 15 is this to close the cursor. Right, now let me send this to you via chat so you can refer later on. Ah, 12, which is drop. Right now, first 10, okay, first 9 I will send you first. It is exceeding the character limit. 9 also exceeding. Okay, first 5. And the rest. That is exceeding the upper 5 to 10. And thereafter level 2 rest. Right now I have sent you this as well. Right then That is how the basics are. Like you have a lot more to learn about the inner joins, outer joins, or the join queries. Likewise, then when you how to connect with the multiple tables and so on, there are a lot of things that you need to learn, and then you can try out those as well. Right now, if you have any questions up to now, you can ask. And the meantime, let me give you some exercise. Uh, what you're gonna do? Let's say create a database. Um, shall we create a database and a table to store employee information? Database empdb and a table to store and the table employee to store information right now, and create a table and then insert employee records and insert the employee records. Insert the employee records. Right now, for an example, one chain do that you have age 28 and pro software engineer, what to call easily position manager. Smith 35 Clark. Brian Fred. Brian Fred, 22 years old, and let's say accountant, sales, right, manager. What other positions we have? Right now we're gonna have direct. Right now the last IDs are 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Adam Key 25. Again, manager. Right. Then we have to add these records and then retrieve the data from the table. Retrieve, right, yeah, retrieve the records from the table. And thereafter, what you need to do? Update manager, update the position manager in at id equal id4 id whose id is 4. Right, spelling mistakes, therefore you can correct it. Then delete delete the record of the person, the employee who is 20 years old. Right, and then we need to delete it, and thereafter, right, then retrieve only name and the only name and the name and the age of the of the managers managers, right. Now that is then delete all the records, drop table, drop database. Right, now quickly do this, and if you have any questions you can ask. Select the data types which you prefer and then do it. And since you have already learned about the try exception handling also, then there, if you want, you can handle the exceptions as well. Right, okay, quickly try out this. I'll give you 5 minutes.